Oh, just who is going down from this division? You just can't make it up.
Yes.
6 of the 8 win on Saturday, and Sheffield Wednesday are in the mix. And now survival looks a realistic prospect. We're here with Andrew, and we're here with Matt again to review the Wednesday against Bristol City game and also look ahead to the massive game against Rotherham this weekend. First of all, let's check in. How are you doing? How's your blood pressure, Andrew?
Well, it's fine. Never a moment's worry against Bristol City. It was easy peasy. Seriously, 2-1. Even when they equalised, I wasn't worried. We were playing well enough, so I knew that the goals would come our way. I knew the result would come our way. And even when we had Bernard sent off with 12 minutes to go, I wasn't worried. And in fact, if anything, we could have easily made it 3-1. Smith had a great chance right at the end to polish it off. And I think he'd been fitter than he was, he probably would have buried that as well. But no, I'll take the win. Thank you very much. Keep the winning sequence going. Everyone's behind Danny Roll. You could see the passion there that was going on, the noise, 27,000 almost. None of the other teams near us would be getting those sort of crowds in Yorkshire if they were in our position, that had been in our position all this season. None of them. Or maybe Leeds might be near it, but that's about it. We are fanatical and we are bouncing back. We're going to survive. Trust me.
Matt, Wednesday are 10th in the former league of the last 6 games. Easily would be another run of the playoffs if this form had gone into the full season. We ask you this every week, but what was the difference against Bristol City? Did your boys just want it more?
I think that was one of the things. I think that would possibly be simplifying it a little bit much. I actually personally thought Bristol City played some really nice football in the middle third of the pitch. I thought they looked really comfortable on the ball. It was just that attacking threat that was really lacking from them, which we have almost been watching a reverse of that pretty much all season at Wednesday up until Danny Roll came in and made the changes. I think I saw a stat this week which was 1 win in the first 18 games and then 8 in his last 16. And it just shows the job that he has done, because the squad hasn't massively changed from the one that he took over. He brought, obviously, 4 players in January, 3 of whom have had regular minutes, and they've had a huge impact on it. I think on Saturday, that is just the tail of the tape, really. The players that we brought in January made the difference on the day. Jan Poveda on the day, who played sort of like a floating role but predominantly outright wing, was at times absolutely unplayable. I was listening to something where a Bristol City podcast where they were talking about Cameron Pring, who was back at left back for them. He tore into shreds in the first half, and I know he's coming back from fitness, but he was taken off at half time. As a result of that, it continued in the second half, and we've got a goal scorer, which we haven't had all season. And it is, I think Ike Ugbo's shot conversion rate is something absolutely off the charts at the minute. And he is that goal scorer that we have been crying out, and every single team down the bottom of the league cries out for. When you're down there, it's so important to have somebody to stick the ball in the back of the net, because we have created chances this year. Up until January, we just didn't have anybody who would put the ball in the net. We now do. And that has given us a really strong fighting chance and closed that gap to the teams around us. No, we haven't clawed our way out of the relegation zone as of yet, but it has dragged a lot of teams in and around us. And yeah, I'll be honest, long may it continue.
Yeah.
And credit to Palmer and Johnson, the way they made both goals for Ugbo as well, because they were superb crosses that actually made the runs perfectly well, and that was it. That made the difference. Obviously, having somebody at the end of them to finish them off. But and Liam Palmer has been an unsung hero. Do you realise he's now made 424 appearances for Wednesday? He's actually joint 9th highest ever player for our club, which is quite astounding. So I know we were praising Barry Bannon last week with a legend. Liam Palmer's name has to be mentioned up there right now, because how the appearances he's made for our club. Yeah. Simple as that.
Yeah, sorry, we had some Sheffield United fans write on our video last week about what have you won for that legend comment. So sorry, Blades fans, for leaving the comments open for you to vandalise our.
See you next season, Blades fans. See you next season. Don't worry about that. We'll be there.
Okay. All right, let's think about the Rotherham game then this weekend. I think this is potential banana skin this weekend. I think obviously you're on and up. Matt, do you think there's a potential for them to underestimate the Millers?
No chance.
I don't think they'll underestimate them. I just think the nature of the opposition who they're playing will always spur on a reaction. Rotherham will be going into this game like it is their last game of the season and needing to stay up. They will be absolutely at it from minute one. I am really pleased in the past couple of games to see Will Vokes come back into the team. For me, he's not the best technical footballer that we have. He is a footballer who I think there are probably potentially better options, both on loan outside of the club, but also within the club, who should be starting ahead of him. However, in these type of games, who's going to do the nasty things, who is going to take a bit of time off the clock, who is going to, you don't want to dumb it down a bit, but lift a few people up in the first 5 minutes and just get stuck in and just rile the crowd up. He's the ideal player who you want for those type of games, and I'm pleased to see that we've got those players coming back in. Do I see it as a potential banana skin? Yes. Of course I do. We wouldn't be in the position if we didn't still continue to lose games, even if we're on a bit of a winning run. I can see it being a very, very tense and cagey affair on Saturday. It could be one of those where Rotherham nick a 1-0. We have plenty of opportunities and the ball just doesn't fall for us, or for whatever reason. But I do think there is a huge feel-good factor around the club now, not only with the playing staff and the coaching staff, but also the fans have bought back into them rather than the club as a whole. That's a totally different issue. And we are right behind them at the minute, and that isn't something that should be underestimated at all.
Okay.
At the end of the day, for Little Rotherham, this is their cup final. Let's face it. Little Rotherham taking on Sheffield Wednesday is like in London, say, Little Leighton Orient taking on Arsenal. That's the difference in stature between the two clubs. Historically, no, it's true. Historically, what we've won in our history, trophies won, crowds, attendances, away following, no comparison, please. Don't insult me even mentioning Rotherham in the same breath. But obviously, it's their cup final. We're not stupid. Danny Rowell have seen exactly how well they played even recently. Even though there might be adrift, they gave Ipswich a damn good run for their money. They could easily have got a draw there. They were leading at QPR to come back and fight to beat them on Saturday. It's not going to be a cakewalk, we know that, but we're gonna get there. We're gonna win this game. We need it more than they do. We need this far more than they do.
Okay, if you're a Rotherham fan and want Andrew's home address, please put your comments in the comments below.
I'm waiting. Come and see me. I'm there.
All right, let's get some score predictions then. Andrew, this was Danny Rowell's first win as a Wednesday manager back in October, 2-0. What do you think
Hillsborough? Well, I'm reverting back to the double. We did the double over them 3 times running back in the day. And I remember the 77-78 season, the old third division. It was a 2-1 win at Rotherham the day before my birthday, 25th of March. And it's going to be a 2-1 win again this Saturday. We're going to do them 2-1. We've actually got Leeds on the Friday night the following week, Matt. And Hillsborough, so we're looking forward to them next. That is the big one. But let's get this out of the way first of all. 2-1 to us. We'll win.
Right. Matt?
I think Rotherham will score early. I think we'll equalise before half-time, and I think we'll score 2 late goals. I think ultimately it'll end up 3-1. That's probably as bold as you're ever going to hear me give a prediction. I'm normally quite, I would say, a cautious Sheffield Wednesday fan, but we do have a relatively good record there. We've seen some absolutely outstanding last-gasp goals over the years. Kieran Lee springs to mind. Dom Iorfa's equaliser. Ati Nui, who scored there in a early Carabao Cup game. And the last time that we played them in a league season, let's not forget Rotherham did the double over us, so we are owing them one.
Yeah. All right. Well, enjoy the game. I think this one potentially has got a sneaky 1-0 home win on it, but please don't shout at me.
It wouldn't surprise me, Mark. Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me.
And double whammy, Mark. Well done for Everton getting those 4 points restored. So that means Sheffield United are now definitely FUBAR, as the phrase used in the film Saving Private Ryan. I think you know what that means. Get in there.
We've not done much in the Premier League, but we made Premier League history by being the only team to have gone up to 2 places by no one kicking the ball. But thanks for Andrew. Enjoy the game, both of you. See you next week. Nice one.
Cheers, Matt.